Oh my God. I was not expecting that at all. Oh man. Look at that. That just destroys those watermelons. That's amazing. I never would have guessed it would have done that. Hey, thanks for tuning in to Twang and Bang. If you've been watching my channel for the past year or so, you know I have fallen hard for pre-charged pneumatic air rifles. I cannot get enough of them. But until now, I haven't had the chance to test a semi-automatic air gun. This is the HatsanUSA BullMaster. It is one of two, I think, that are in the country right now. This is a pre-production 20 caliber version. And you might see some differences between what you see in this video here and what ends up on the market, but I would expect that they're going to perform pretty much the same. And that's what's coming up next on Twang and Bang. The BullMaster is a semi-automatic bullpup air rifle made for HatsanUSA in Turkey. Available in 177 and 22 caliber, the BullMaster differs from other semi-auto air guns in that it cycles from a combination of pneumatic and mechanical forces. The rifle barrel is fully shrouded and choked for accuracy. Underneath is a 500cc reservoir good for about 3 magazines before you'll want to top it off. The fill port is on the right side of the stock with the gauge placed deep inside the front grip. A threaded brass fill stem is standard with a quick disconnect adapter available from HatsanUSA separately. Both the foregrip and pistol grip are grooved, and the whole stock is rubberized for an improved feel, which I also imagine would reduce game spooking sounds when hunting. The BullMaster also features HatsanUSA's patented anti-knock system, which prevents discharge and wastage when the rifle is knocked around or bounced in the field. One of my favorite features of the BullMaster are its magazine caddies on each side of the stock. This allows you to load and carry all 3 mags that come standard. These rotary magazines hold 12 pellets in 22 caliber and 14 pellets in a 177 caliber rifle. The cheek riser is push-button adjustable to accommodate a wide range of optics mounts, though I found its lowest setting was perfect for standard mount height. Its rubberized texture is very comfortable, with a gentle contour that prevents contact between your cheek and the magazine. The top rail accepts both 11mm and 22mm Weaver spec mounts. Its generous length meant that I had no problems getting proper eye relief with the Hawk optic and mount sent to me by Airgun Depot. The front accessory rail is also Weaver spec, matching the standard found on many airgun accessories. Fitted sling swivels are also found front and rear. Semi-auto wouldn't be much fun if you had to take the BullMaster off safe after every shot, so unlike many airguns, the safety is fully manual. The metal trigger does have a lot of pre-travel, but I found it to have a very nice reset and a consistent break. The charging handle reciprocates with the bolt, making this a gun for shooting right-handed only. Like with the semi-auto firearm, the action is also the loudest part of shooting the BullMaster, enough so that I'm more comfortable with a foamy blocking off my right ear. That said, even though the BullMaster isn't technically suppressed, I would consider it backyard quiet, and non-shooters would not need ear pro even if they were standing pretty close to the shooting. So how does this work? It's not that different than some firearms that are out there. There's actually a gas port in the barrel underneath this sleeve. As the pellet travels down the barrel, the air expands behind it. The pellet passes the gas port. It's going to be somewhere in here. And then the air gets released into this chamber. There's a collar piston right here, and that gets pushed forward against the spring in here. There's a linkage from the collar piston going back to the bolt. And even though the collar piston gets pushed forward and pulling the linkage this way, there is some mechanical magic back here that turns movement that way into movement this way for the bolt. This is supposed to make it more reliable than other semi-auto systems because it doesn't use batteries, it doesn't use an electric motor to do the semi-auto as some do. It uses a combination of the air pressure that you already have on board and some mechanical genius to do it. I think that's actually pretty cool. I wish I could take it apart to get a better look at it though. Kind of have to flip this upside down to fill it, but just stick the stem in, Keep your eye on the pressure gauge. Fill it till you hit the red line. Bleed your fill line, and that's it. Other than having to kind of flip it upside down, it's as easy as it gets. I'm not sure the manual's telling you to load these mags because I don't have a manual. It's not exactly intuitive at first, but it's easy once you know how to do it. First thing you're going to do is you're going to rotate the clear cover counterclockwise, winding the mag all the way to the mag stop, just like that. You're going to flip it over, and you're going to load the first pellet in, tail in first, because this is the front of the mag. Now, when you release the cover, the spring tension is going to hold that pellet in place. Now you just go on through, loading them nose down, just as you would expect. And you could actually do it either direction, doesn't matter. And these mags are long enough to hold heavier pellets than what I have. I only had these 2 pellets in hand to be able to test this. I had a very brief window to test this, so I wish I had more pellets to try to see if they would fit in the mag and see if they would work in the gun, but this is what I've got right now. And then once you get it all the way loaded, spin the cover around clockwise until it pops in place. And there you go, there's a loaded mag, and it will hold all the pellets in place because of the spring tension. You're ready to shoot. I didn't think shooting the watermelon would be as spectacular as it was, so I shot some apples first. There's just something about hearing that thud and seeing fruit explode when hit with a .22 caliber pellet. The BullMaster isn't intended to be a bench gun, but I got a respectable group out of the Barracuda Hunter Extreme pellets. This is being shown real time so you can see how easy it is to keep this rifle on target and put another pellet down range with the smooth semi-auto action. I was especially impressed with how consistent the velocity is. This leads me to believe that with different pellets, I might be able to squeeze that group even tighter. Once you get in a groove, this thing just doesn't move out of it. I do get a flyer every now and then. Those 2 that were away from that group, those are flyers. I think that's the pellets. I also shot some field target trophy pellets that were still minute a squirrel at 25 yards, but didn't group as tightly. I slowed way down to make sure I wasn't causing the larger group, which is why I cut the time out between the shots for this clip. I really wish I had a chance to try other pellets in this, but I had an artificially short window to test this out because this has to go back to them. I wanted to get the video done in time for SHOT Show, which is in just a couple of days, and we had some winter weather earlier in this week, hard to believe looking at my backyard right now, that delayed the shipment of 22 pellets long enough that they didn't make it in time for this video. It did fine with the Barracuda Hunter Extreme on paper, and you saw them rip apart the watermelon. This would absolutely be my choice for hunting. It didn't like the field target trophy so much, but it just goes to show that air guns aren't really different than firearms in the sense that you have to try out a few different things to see what they like. I would have liked to have tried out heavier pellets. I would have liked to have tried out longer pellets because there's room in the mag to do that. I'm sure we're going to see other reviewers do the same very shortly. The BullMaster is going to MSRP for $1,400. It's also going to come in a standard rifle configuration called the Barrage that's going to MSRP for $1,300. If you want to learn more about the BullMaster and the Barrage, be sure to click the link in the video description below. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. You can see the links right here. And be sure to click right here to subscribe so you can catch my next videos on bows, guns, and other cool stuff like PCP air guns. I really appreciate you watching Twang and Bang, and I hope to see you next time.